that are
Long ago, in a living room very much like yours, two women made up a podcast on how movies link up to each other, and they called it 6 Degrees of Feature Film.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 6 Degrees of Feature Film podcast. I am Brienne, also known as Miss Movies. Sorry, I get confused sometimes.
What is your name? What do we call
Brienne.
you?
Let's go with Brienne.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, Miss
So,
Movies,
hey,
Brienne.
what's
Miss
your
Brienne
name?
Movies. I'm Stacey Howard.
What's happening?
I'm trying to figure out who's sitting in front of me.
I don't
Is it
know.
Miss Movies? Is it Brienne?
It's both.
Do you have an evil twin?
I should. You know what? If I have some alcohol, I do have really fun, like a Fun Bobby. You know Fun Bobby from Friends?
Yeah, from Friends.
I'm totally that.
He makes his coffee Irish all the time.
I know.
That's right, Fun Bobby. And then he gets sober and he is
He's not
lame-o.
Fun Bobby anymore.
He's not Fun Bobby
That's
anymore.
me in real life. I'm the not Fun Bobby.
Oh.
And then, yeah, I don't drink a lot, though. There's a reason I don't drink.
Why?
Because,
What's your reason?
because there comes a point where I turn beyond Fun Bobby, and then that just gets scary and sad for myself. I get very self-conscious about being
About
Fun
being
Bobby.
drunk?
Yes, about being drunk. And then so there's like a happy medium area. Fun
but
Bobby,
if it gets
Fun
past
Bobby area.
it, you're like, what's happening? It's like having
Yes,
an acid trip.
it's
You like
terrible.
realize your own drunkenness, and you're like, oh.
That's why I just choose not to drink, because I'm like, I don't want to get to that stage. Like the Fun Bobby stage is great, but then to get to that stage, it's like, no, never.
I should do that because I don't handle alcohol well either, but I keep doing it because my friends drink. So I'm like, okay.
Yes, you're a
And
social
then
drinker.
I'm a social drinker. I am. I have no alcohol in my house. Why are we talking about this? We're supposed to be talking about Cliffhanger.
Yeah, that's our feature film today. Let's just go into that.
Guys, what a journey we've been on.
You know who
I feel like-
probably didn't drink?
Probably.
Probably Sly Stallone while he was filming this movie,
Probably.
Cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm.
He was probably very sober at the time.
Yes.
Cliffhanger came out May 28th, 1993. It's about a botched midair heist, and it results in all of this craziness along a hillside, basically. Various groups are going through the Rocky Mountains trying to find this cash that is like strewn about in suitcases.
Yeah. Bunch of money.
Yep.
You're so money, baby.
So money.
So money.
This is directed by Rennie Harlan, who also did Die Hard 2, as well as Deep Blue Sea. What?
Wow.
My head is like a shark's fin. Is that what it says? I don't know what he says.
I think so.
And writers John Long, Michael France, and Sylvester Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone is an Oscar-nominated writer. No,
He's
wait.
amazing.
Did he win for Rocky? I can't remember.
Oh,
should
now
know
I
this.
got to go back.
We just did an episode.
We did.
We did an episode
Guys.
earlier about Rocky. I don't freaking know the answer. Dang. But he's an Oscar-nominated person, which is shockingly insane to me. Sly Stallone, Rambo himself.
I don't know.
Like,
Why is that insane to you?
because he,
Because he doesn't come across as someone that would be. Is that why?
Yes.
Okay.
Because he's an action guy. And also, at this point, because he had to have been nominated for an Oscar for writing Rocky, starring in it. He directed it, right?
He didn't direct it.
He didn't direct
No.
it? Why didn't I? Okay, but then some of the other Rockies he produced. So, and then for Creed, now he's nominated for actor, right?
Right.
And then also it's nominated for something else, and I think he's a producer on it. So I think he has like 4 or 5 Oscar nominations under his belt. That's more than Jeremy Irons. That's crazy.
That's
to
not
me.
crazy. Sylvester Stallone is amazing. As I go through his catalog of films, you have to come on this journey with me, Stacey, because it is beyond amazing.
We're
going to talk about a few of his films today because we're recording 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And in this episode, he comes up again, for sure.
I would say my favorite Sly Stallone movie so far is Oscar. I'm not
Really?
exaggerating.
Oscar's great.
It's great. It really is. And I saw a new side of him, and I was like, "This is amazing." We've already done that episode, so I won't talk about it too much. But
Yeah,
I'm
starting to come out.
seeing new facets of him. I am, but I'm just saying it's still shocking to me because Sly Stallone. The first image that comes to my mind is like sweat glistening in a jungle with a gun. It is not him with his reading glasses on writing in his kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is, I do not think of him that way. And I know he has done that because he'll I follow him on Twitter now, and I know
I should do that too.
You should. Oh, it's
I
great.
should.
It's great. And he'll post photos of him writing and stuff, and I'm like, this is so odd. It just seems so odd to me. I'm not saying he's not talented.
Right.
I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve his success. He absolutely does, and he's a really hardworking man. But the image that I think of him in my mind, and then when I think of all the success and things that he's accomplished in his life, they're two very different things. It's hard for me to picture him as like a writer and an intellectual in some way, but I know he is.
Yes.
Like, I'm not diminishing his talent, but I'm just saying it's hard to imagine the creative process he goes through because he doesn't put out that part of his persona in the public eye very much.
Yeah. You're right.
There
I
you
think
go.
You're right. So this is starring Stallone as Gabe Walker, John Lithgow as Quaylen, Michael Rooker as Hal Tucker, Janine Turner as Jessie, Rex Lynn as Richard Travers, and Carolyn Goodall as Christelle. Carolyn Goodall, when I was watching, I was like, where do I know her from?
my gosh.
Where do I know her from? And then I was like,
The
Hook.
mom. Oh, she's the mom from the Princess Diaries.
Oh yeah.
But she's Wendy and Hook, right?
yes.
young Wendy. The
Moira.
mom Wendy.
Moira.
Oh, is it Moira?
Yeah, because Wendy is Maggie Smith, right?
Oh.
Wendy's Maggie Smith.
Yeah. That's what I meant. But she is supposed. No, yeah. So she's
Moira
married
Darling.
She's married to
Robin
Williams. But then she was basically the original Wendy, or no, she was like the second Wendy because the old woman is old Wendy and
old
then
Wendy,
old
new
Wendy.
Wendy.
And then but then Peter Pan.
That's
so
her
fell
daughter.
In love with
Yeah.
her daughter. That's right. Okay, never mind then.
So there
You know what I mean? Yeah.
We got it.
Okay. That's so funny. Okay, two different generations right here.
Yes.
You were like Hook, early 90s. I was like Princess Diaries, early 2000s.
Yeah.
That's
Yep,
so funny.
because
I
that
like
is my time.
I like that.
That is my time when
Okay.
I was a child.
This is why we do a podcast together.
We
'cause
do.
We got differing points of view.
From different times of
Different
life.
times, different tastes, but both women. 11 movies.
That's right.
What a good tagline I just came up with.
The budget was $70 million and the box office made $255 million. And you were 2 when this came out.
I
93.
was. No, I was 3 years old.
3. That's right. Sorry.
Yeah, because I was born in 90, so 3 years old.
And I was 12. So I definitely wouldn't have seen this. But it was nominated for 3 Oscars. Sound effects, and visual effects. Lost all of those Oscars to...
Oh, Jurassic Park.
That's right.
Well, that makes sense because Jurassic Park is Jurassic Park.
I know.
And Cliffhanger
I know.
is Cliffhanger. Okay, so I
Can you imagine if Jurassic Park, it's nominated for this, lost to
Cliffhanger. That would have been an uprising in the movie industry. I watched Cliffhanger for the first time the other day.
I watched it for the first time, 2 weeks ago. So
Nice.
here
So we
we
were
are.
both newbies to the game, and this glorious snow-filled masterpiece filled our eyeballs.
Have you seen Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls?
I have.
Because I believe the opening scene to that is a parody off of the opening scene to this film.
It is.
And so now that makes more sense to me. But I need to
Okay.
go back and watch that.
Yeah, now that you're saying that, it totally is. Because all right, spoilers. We're going to talk spoilers for the movie. He dropped Sarah. And that was actually one of the hardest things to film in the movie was get that
Yes.
glove to fall off the way the director
That was amazing.
wanted
It was
to.
like his grip was so hard.
Yeah.
that they were like...
He was so strong that
they had to get
like,
a giant glove.
they had to put like Vaseline
Yes.
inside, all this stuff, and it still wouldn't fall. It was a tight little leather glove. Like it was like OJ tight. Like it was not going on the hand, I feel like. So yeah, that makes sense that it couldn't have fallen off the way they wanted to. But it took a long time and they did like a ton of takes to get that right. So
I just can't imagine being her, waiting for, or the stunt person. I don't know how high up they were. I don't know what the setup of the actual stunt was, how high off the ground they were. But I can't imagine her just waiting for him to for it to slip through and
I know,
doing that
to be
over and over
okay,
again.
Fine. She's probably on a wire, just chilling out.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, come on.
Because they're just trying to get the close up of the slip.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's lunch. Everyone's 3 hours later. Sorry, glove's not cooperating.
This movie's in the Guinness Book of World Records for costliest aerial stunt ever performed. It's the scene where they have the 2 airplanes and they're trying to get the cash from one airplane to the other airplane.
that wire.
And then the person goes down on the wire as well to get from one plane to the other. And that was done at 15,000 feet without the aid of any safety devices or trick photography. This puts Tom Cruise probably to shame.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Psh,
I can't imagine being that stunt guy.
I cannot either.
So no aids at all, not a parachute,
I don't think
just in
so.
case?
I don't think so. I mean, probably a parachute of some kind, but still, it's not like it was on a soundstage with a net below him. Like, they were actually up in the air. And actually, let's see, something about, because it was extremely dangerous, the insurance people wouldn't insure it.
So Stallone was like, I'll reduce my fee.
Yeah, so he basically paid for it.
He is amazing at that because he puts his own money up for his films.
He really does.
I don't know how many other actors do that.
Not a lot. Some of these actors are so spoiled and they expect so much for so little. But he's like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to work out. I'm going to do this and that and act this. But like, he does everything for his movies. He really believes in them. And that's what I think I was talking about earlier when I was like, sometimes the talent doesn't show like the intellectual side of it, but his grit, his investment in it shows always in his movies. You know what I mean? So that's the side of him that I know more.
You know what else he paid for this film is there is a part where they shoot at a bunny. And originally in the first cut of the film, the bunny actually did get shot. And like, you know, they saw this on film. So a sneak preview went in and they didn't react well to that. They did not like that the bunny was shot. And Stallone was like, I will put up the money to reshoot this so that the bunny gets away.
Cost $100,000 to redo that. Just because some stupid, and this is an American audience, so just typical, have everybody in the film die a horrible, violent death all they want, but God forbid a fucking bunny kicks it. I mean, that is ridiculous. But to spend $100,000 on that, you know? But yeah, he really listens to people and cares what they think, and that's pretty cool.
Which is why I like him.
Yeah.
I like him more and more. The more films I see with Sylvester Stallone, the more I don't think he's just some sort of like bonehead actor. And I don't know why I had that original like impression. Maybe because of Rocky, the actual character. You know, I don't know why I had that impression, but now I'm like, wow, he's a really cool person. Like, I would want to be his friend if I could be. But like,
is Jete in the room?
I don't know.
Are you Jete?
I could be.
Are you speaking? Is Jete speaking right now? Because you're sounding like him in Finstock right now.
Oh, all right. Oh, is that a good thing or is it a bad thing?
You're catching the Sly fever.
That's what it is, the Sly fever. I need a Stallone mug.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go on a heist.
Go on a heist?
To get one from someone illegally.
Look out. Look out, people. She's coming for your mug. She's going to punch you in the face, so coming for your literal mug. And then, your figurative mug, and then for your literal Sly Stallone mug. I still need to watch a bunch of other movies. I need to get Over the Top.
Yes. Oh,
I need to watch that.
You do.
We should probably. Oh, I know. I have an idea for an episode. It's not going to be our 6 degrees of feature film. We're just going to put the movie on and then record as we watch
commentary.
it. Commentary. Okay. We will do that.
Commentary track. On Over the Top? We could do Over the Top.
Oh,
or we could do Rhinestone.
We could do Rhinestone.
I want to do that. Okay, but also I wanted to tell you about some other thing that I was like, I wish this happened.
What?
So originally, Sylvester Stallone was supposed to appear in a film opposite John Candy, a comedy by John Hughes that was about feuding neighbors. And when that project was dropped, Stallone then went on to Cliffhanger. And I was like, that would have been an amazing film that I would also want to see. John Candy and Stallone as feuding neighbors. Like, I kind of want to see him in a more comedy role, kind of like Oscar. Like, I want to see that again. Let's get that. Let's get back to that.
That sounds great. Because, like, you know, Sly Stallone would be the one, like, to try and beat him. He would do, you know, maybe, like, explosions. Or, like, they could even do a Rambo parody where it's, like, he's in the bushes between the two houses, you know, and, like, stalking him. But then John Candy's part of it would be, like, just annoying him. You know, or like
the great outdoors.
Yeah. Exactly. That would be very interesting.
Well, I
see that.
Love this. I love Cliffhanger. We haven't gotten too much into it, but we are going to have to move on, unfortunately. So let's do like a quick wrap up of Cliffhanger. Like, what is your favorite? Is there a favorite part for you or anything like that?
So when they're doing the fight in the Batcave and they have I don't know if it's
the Batcave sounds hilarious.
The cave with the bats. Batman's there. And there's the little stalactites or whatever that are hanging down from the ceiling. I was like, I knew what the death was going to be of that guy is Sly is going to either push him onto one of these sharp things or like shove him, but then he like holds him and lifts him up and stabs him in the back with that, and I was like, I knew it was coming, but it's still great.
It is still great.
I really liked that. And then the whole time I just kept trying to figure out who's the woman that I know in there. And it's
I love the thing where she like just quickly makes a bomb and then she's like, you should see how I bake a cake.
Oh yeah, that was great.
I was like, yes, you should.
That was a great moment. Or he was like, she was making a bomb with like C4 and he was like, you're going to make a wonderful wife to someone someday. And she's like, she does the cake line. That's pretty good.
I also enjoy the part where there's like this soccer. It's like he's gonna like, I don't know, kick that guy's face to death. I have no idea. But just how the soccer guy is like making all these soccer like, parallels in his speech to this guy, and then he just ends up like, obviously dying.
Okay, another favorite part. He skis someone down the mountain. He doesn't ski with someone. He literally sits on top of the guy and skis him down a mountain.
Yes.
Skis on top of him. I thought that was insane. I was like, this is so stupid. But I loved it.
I want to see this on the big screen.
That would be amazing. I'd be like,
to come back. I should petition for this.
They should. They should have a Sly marathon, and they could do all the movies.
All my movies.
All my
with
movies.
Him.
Oh my!
I'm going to this.
Oh, he wouldn't be just sitting there though. He would like be talking to everyone in the audience, answering questions.
Probably.
I feel like because he's so nice to his fans. So
probably, yeah.
That's what I've heard. He's like, oh yeah, of course. I think in my mind, in my fantasy, Sly Stallone is very nice to all his fans, and we'll just sit there and talk Rocky trivia all day with them because he loves his movies. He does. He believes in them.
I believe in them. So from this film, I thought that John Lithgow was a pretty solid villain. And my first impression of John Lithgow is Third Rock from the Sun. So
yes, mine too.
I knew him as a comedy guy, and I didn't realize that he was first a man of dramatics.
Yes.
And then a comedy. Comedy.
I think that
comedian.
came from The World According to Garp. Or is that the name of the movie? And he plays the he plays a woman or a crossdresser or something in the film, and he is just this tall, loud woman, and it was a very comedic role for him. And then I think after that, people started seeing him in a different light, and then he got Third Rock from the Sun. I don't know if that's the right timeline. I actually am. Like you said, I wasn't familiar with him. Fake fact. # fake facts. John Lithgow started in comedy after World According to Garp. And yeah, I only knew him because, early 90s. Of course, I was watching that show. I loved Baby JGL on there, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. But he was hilarious in it. And I remember he had didn't he have an affair with the woman from SNL / Coneheads, all that? Like, that was his girlfriend. Yeah.
Jane Curtin?
Yeah.
Huh.
She was on the show.
Oh, yeah, she was on the show.
They're
That's
both
right.
professors or something. And they had a relationship on the show.
I don't remember the show that well. I remember certain parts, and that's about it. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt with long hair.
Long hair. And he was the oldest one.
Yeah. What? Oh, no, like alien-wise.
Yeah, alien-wise. He was the leader, I think, the warrior one, but they stuck him in like a little boy's body, so that was funny. Anyway, sorry. We're
going
again tangent into
You know what? We're going to go.
Things.
Our link is John Lithgow, and we're going to do John Lithgow, more specific villains.
Yes.
So we're going to go over to February 17th, 1984. A movie called Footloose came out.
We gotta cut loose, footloose. Kick off your Sunday shoes.
This is a city teenager moves to a small town where rock music and dancing have been banned, and his rebellious spirit shakes up the populace. I love whoever wrote this. Thank you for populace.
I love IMDb descriptions of the synopsis of movies.
So
sometimes they're so on point, and then other times you're like, what the hell are they talking about? Who wrote this? That is not. Also, everyone do me a favor that's listening to this. All 4 people. Go to Steven Seagal's IMDb page and his biography. He wrote that himself. There's no way. It's like it's literally like strikingly handsome and almost boyishly charming. Steven Seagal is a master in the martial. He fucking wrote that. No one wrote that about him. He is way too into himself. He absolutely wrote that. Sorry. Back to Footloose.
Directed by Herbert Ross, who also directed Steel Magnolias and Boys on the Side.
Nice.
So, there
made
you go.
80 million.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Dean Pitchford wrote the movie, but he wrote the lyrics to the songs. So it's kind of interesting that he was also the writer of the film. And most of his credits are basically, song lyrics. Like if you look on his IMDb page, you'll see.
Okay.
I mean, a majority comes from this. A lot of his credits come from this movie, used in other, songs used in other films as well. But he also does mainly lyrics. So good on him.
That's pretty good.
Kevin Bacon, Laurie Singer, John Lithgow, Diane Weist, Chris Penn, Sarah Jessica Parker, and John Laughlin are some of the major stars in this. I love how Diane Weist is Laurie Singer's mother, and she's only 9 years older than her, which means I could be your mom.
You could.
Yeah.
You could.
I could.
Someday we will be in a series or a movie
right.
together, and you will play my mother. I'll have to dress super young. I'll dress in like Aeropostale. I'll have a little sweatshirt, and you wear...
That's how you say that?
Yeah. How do you say it?
I always said Aeropostale. I don't know why I said it that way.
Aeropostale?
And then I just decided not to say it.
never mentioned it. I say Aeropostale.
That's good.
Postale?
That makes sense.
I have no idea.
This was nominated for 2 Oscars. That's not really that surprising. Both were for Best Song, for the song Footloose and for Let's Hear It for the Boy. But they lost out to Stevie Wonder's I Just Called to Say I Love You.
Oh, okay.
So I get it.
Sense. But I remember the Footloose songs more than I remember.
Because I think of Stevie Wonder's song as like a song that first was on the radio. I don't think of, the movie that came from was called The Woman in Red, which I had never even heard of. I mean, there's plenty of movies that I've never heard of, but I had never heard of that film.
Me neither.
And so
What's
that's
it sound
probably
like
why.
Again? It's like, I just called to say I love you. Knowing I've been dreaming of you. That one? Maybe.
Yes.
Exactly.
I mean, that is a great song.
Okay. Yeah,
I get
that's a good song. Yeah. It's more of an Oscar song than, and I gotta cut loose. Loose.
Let's Hear It for the Boy is good, though.
Yeah. That's
like
great.
that one, too.
I do love that song. I always think of, there's an episode of Parks and Rec where it's Joan Calamazzo, the reporter from that one. Do you watch Parks and Rec?
I have. I
Okay.
haven't finished it, though.
Oh, okay. Well, she's in a restaurant. She's drunk. She's like, let's hear it for the
Oh, yes.
boys."
I do remember
And she's
that.
like drunkenly just belting it. And I'm like, oh, Footloose.
Did you know that Tom Cruise and Rob Lowe were slated to play the lead for this?
Yes.
I like that fact. I could
That's
totally
pretty good.
see Tom Cruise because he was coming off of Risky Business. So they were like,
that's true.
you got some dancing moves there. And this was based like slightly adapted from some sort of true story.
Yeah, it was
what
like
I
a
read.
small town.
Like loosely based.
Yeah,
so
small
I don't
town
know what that means.
religious. And they had actually banned like dancing for like 90 years.
Yes, 90
and then
years.
finally some teenagers rebelled.
In 1978, they were like, we're taking over this town now.
Exactly. So here's a fun fact. Kevin Bacon performed a Never Been Kissed stunt, and he went and attended high school for a while. And by a while, I mean he lasted like half a day, and then he was out of there.
Oh, yeah.
So
they only last half a day.
Yeah,
they
he's
do.
24 years old. Him and some of the producers went and they entered him into high school with the principal knew everything. And he had like, that little haircut and skinny tie and everything, much like in the film. And
Right.
everyone was like, who is this ridiculous person? And like picked on him and made fun of him and all this stuff. And so, by like lunchtime, he was like, I'm out of here. I can't handle this. But he
Right.
used that in the film.
Because
his
he wasn't,
experiences.
he wasn't known at that time. This was his
Right.
big, like, film.
Yeah.
So he could go in undetected. Now, when I was teaching, Miley Cyrus's sister, younger sister, I can't remember her name at this time, she enrolled in our school and was there for a day. And that was
Oh.
it. And was gone. That was
Why?
it.
Wait, Miley Cyrus's younger sister?
Yes. I don't know her name. Sorry, guys.
Like as a student of yours?
As a student, not in my class,
Not
but
in
in
your
the
class?
same. She was in. I taught 4th. She was in 5th.
Okay.
But yeah, I think she was so freaked out by like kids her age and like being in a public school.
That's
and
hard.
Maybe she was doing research for a role. Who knows?
Maybe.
But you can't stick stars into a school. Like, it just doesn't work unless they're already there.
Yeah.
And then, there was another little girl that was there that like had a big role in the Tooth Fairy. But yeah, but everyone knew her. So, and she had been there the whole time. So it wasn't like, oh, hey, who's this?
Yeah.
So anyway, good
So
fun
random.
times.
Yeah. Also, okay, in an interview with Howard Stern, Kevin Bacon admitted that he actually tips DJs at weddings not to play Footloose.
Good for
He
him.
stated that the people expect him to dance the song as he did in the movie, and then in truth, he did do some of the dancing, but there's also a dancing double. So he's not that great of a dancer, I don't think, in reality.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
because
know.
he does have a dancing double.
Yeah, he has a double. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But
He was also offered the lead role in Stephen King's Christine.
That's right.
And he kind of was like not giving them an answer until he found out about Footloose, because I think he wanted to do Footloose more than Christine.
Mm-hmm. Well, because he was like, Christine was guaranteed, like he had the role. And then the producers of Footloose had to convince him not to take this guaranteed role just to audition for a role that he might not get.
Which
And
is
so
crazy.
That's crazy.
I'd be like,
no.
what?
I'm taking the role I'm for sure going to get. I'm taking the paycheck one. And he, after 30 seconds in the audition, he got the role and they offered him the part. So it's pretty cool.
I wanted to rewatch this, but then my internet went haywire, so I ended up not being able to watch it. I
They
don't know.
paid the extras $20 in the locker scene to get down to their skivvies. That's what.
I wonder what that would cost today.
I'd probably like thousands of dollars. I have no idea. But that was the okay. If you could put me in any time period and in any kind of role, kind of position, it would be as an extra in all these 80s movies, because they got paid shit, but they got to see so much stuff go down. There were no rules.
I'm sure.
There were no regulations. Like, there had to have been coke everywhere in parties, and like nothing got done. Like, it had to have been amazing. It had to have been great. It had to have been
a
like
different time,
being
for
a
sure.
roadie for a rock and roll group in the 70s. Like, I'm sure they didn't do anything, but they have amazing stories. You know what I mean?
We should find some of them. I bet they do have amazing stories.
We should. We totally should.
Anything else for Footloose for you?
No. Let's hear it for the boys.
All right, well, let's move it on to Shrek, where John Lithgow plays Lord Farquaad, who is the villain of the story. This came out May 18th, 2001. After his swamp is filled with magical creatures, an ogre agrees to rescue a princess for a villainous lord in order to get his land back. Directed by Andrew Adamson and Vicky Jansen. Vicky also did Shark Tale and Postgrad, and Andrew Adamson did Shrek 2 and Chronicles of Narnia. The writers are William Steig from the book, and Ted Elliot did the screenplay. Starring Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, Cameron Diaz, John Lithgow, and Vincent Cassel.
Let's go with Castle.
It won 1 Oscar for Best Animated Feature and was also nominated for Best Screenplay based on previous works.
I can't believe this movie is 15 years old.
It's insane. And you know what? I saw this movie was on Hector and Adam's IMDb, because they do visual effect or visual arts. I don't know exactly what they do. And I said, how is this possible? Because you were like 13 when this movie came out. Like, why is this credit on your IMDb? And he's like, oh, I did it when they redid it for 3D.
Oh, okay.
I worked on that in
gotcha.
2010. I was like, thank the Lord. I thought you were some sort of Doogie Howser of visual arts. Like, and I was so confused.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
So, hey, Hector and Adam.
Hey, Hector and Adam. We love them.
Yeah, come back. Come back on our show.
New episode. Woo.
The budget $60 million, and it grossed $484.4 million.
This movie was so popular.
I saw it in theaters. Did you see it in theaters?
I saw it in theaters. Yes, I did. I don't know if I've seen all the Shrek movies in theaters, but I did see the first one, because this was I was 11 when this came out. This was the perfect age for me to see it. So I think me and my older brother, well, I think my whole family went to go see it, but I remember me and my older brother really liked it, and I liked, I was younger, so I liked all like fart jokes and all the dumb stuff, but he liked Donkey and all his, because it was like an Eddie Murphy let's
Vehicle.
just, vehicle. Like, let's just let him do his thing and go on his rants.
Eddie Murphy says this is his best work. Like, he credits Shrek as his best work.
That's really.
And I think that's kind of nice.
I would think it'd be like
that.
Beverly Hills Cop or something. Or maybe Dreamgirls. He got nominated for an Oscar for Dreamgirls.
Well,
and Shrek is his best work.
Maybe best voice work.
Maybe
we'll qualify it.
No, Shrek is great. Shrek is a solid film.
Shrek has his own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Shrek himself.
Little green ogre, big green ogre Shrek has a star. Wow. Okay.
Originally, Mike Myers was going to do it no accent.
Right.
And then for some reason, he watched it over or something, and then decided to try it again with like a voice that his mom would do.
Oh.
I don't know if his mom was Scottish or if there was just he likes to do the Scottish. I've noticed.
He does.
Did that, so I married an axe murderer
and all that.
That's his go-to.
Yeah. It might be.
And the song All Star by Smash Mouth in the very beginning it was just there like as something like, let's put this in here for now, and then we'll change it to be something different later. And when they did it, when they showed it for test audiences, they really liked it so much that
It was
they were
written
like,
for the movie, right?
I thought I'm a Believer was, I'm a Believer is
one of them
is a copy, right? Isn't it? Like, that
yeah,
wasn't already
that was
previously.
the monkeys,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. Something
like that.
Fake facts.
I don't know. Fake facts. Hashtag fake facts. Yeah, no, that's one of those ones because it's like the director likes Smash Mouth, right?
Sure.
And so I think that's why he chose that band. They wrote one of those songs for the movie. I don't know which one though. I forgot.
Shrek means monster in Yiddish.
Oh.
And is derived from the German word Schreck. I don't know if I did that right. Which means terror or fright. And although Ants, which came out in 1998, was the first computer animated film produced by DreamWorks, it was Shrek that established the studio as a major name in the field alongside the main competitor, Pixar.
Which I love, Ants.
And it may come up.
Maybe. Oh, that's got a big old Sly Stallone cameo in Ants. That's so funny.
This is the first film to win the Best Animated Feature Oscar in 2001. It beat out Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius and Monsters, Inc. So congratulations, Shrek.
Okay. I do love Jimmy Neutron, though.
I haven't seen Jimmy Neutron.
Oh, Jimmy Neutron is great. It is really, really great. It's a solid show.
Okay, so the logo for Lord Farquaad looks like the Facebook logo. And obviously this came before Facebook. So maybe Facebook was like...
Wait, what logo?
Shrek.
What do you mean?
Like the logo that he has on all his things.
Oh.
It's an F for Farquaad.
And it's got a circle around it or something?
Yeah, it looks like the Facebook logo.
I didn't know that. I'm going to have to go back. I don't notice those small details like you.
This was also the first American animated film screened at Cannes Film Festival since Peter Pan in 1953.
Whoa.
It's been a long time. It has been a long time.
Wait. First American animated film.
Yes.
They didn't screen like Toy Story, any of those at Cannes?
Guess not.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know that.
And after this, they were probably like, and never again.
Yeah, look at this farting ogre. No. That's so funny. Oh my gosh.
Shrek. We love you, Shrek.
Shrek. That's awesome.
Thanks. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
All right.
So we went from Cliffhanger. We did John Lithgow, and mainly John Lithgow villains, Footloose, and Shrek. And now Stacey's taking off of Footloose. She has some sort of theme. I think I might know one of the films.
I think you will know. I think you will because you saw me. I think I text you or I tweet you whenever I'm watching a new movie and I'm like, I love this. Okay, so Footloose is about rebellious youth, right? People that want to express themselves. They want to sing, they want to dance, they want to act, they want to do something and live out their heart's desire, but the adults in their life don't want them to do it. They think it's too dangerous or it's immoral or they fear for them or they think it's dumb or whatever. So I picked movies about that, about youth rebelling and wanting to just go out there and like let everyone know what their passion is and like the adults in their life hate it and don't support them. So of course my first one is Billy Elliot.
Yay!
Yeah. Okay, this came out in 2000. A talented young boy becomes torn between his unexpected love of dance and the disintegration of his family. Now, I had never seen this movie before, which is shocking because I was a dancer growing up, and this is about, a dancer, a boy dancer who's So cute. Jamie Bell is so cute in this movie. He's super adorable, and he's really good too. And
I didn't know it was Jamie Bell.
It's Jamie Bell. Yeah.
He's always at Disneyland.
Is he?
He is all
He's
the time.
Dad. Him and Evan Rachel Wood have a son together. I think he's like 4. They're divorced now, but they were married and they had a son.
Aw.
Yeah, so he's probably there with his. Have you seen him at Disneyland?
I just see. Okay, I follow this Twitter called Disneyland Celebrity or something like that. And so, like, basically, they will tweet out when someone's at the park and say who's there.
Oh my gosh!
Like, this person is at the park today.
Oh.
Gwen Stefani is here.
Oh my
So,
god!
yeah.
That was my Gwen Stefani impression.
That was good.
And made $109 million. Lots of awards. It was Oscar nominated for Best Supporting Actress for Julie Walters, Best Director for Stephen Daldry, and Best Screenplay for Lee Hall. So Jamie Bell was actually a dancer when he was younger, and he took classes, and he was ridiculed by, his peers and stuff for being a boy and a dancer. And he's from that area that that Billy Elliot lives, that the film was filmed in, and so he used a lot of that for his role, for his acting in the movie. And also, Lee Hall wrote the screenplay kind of about his own things, his own experiences. So he was trying to find a way to tell his own story, but in a visual way. So the first image he came up with was a child jumping on the bed and just, I guess just trying to express himself, his passion, his freedom, his fear, his whatever. And from there, the dance stuff just kind of came from that. So he was trying,
Yeah.
And a lot of times artists will do that. Like Sylvester Stallone, he wanted to convey his struggle as an actor in a film, but he couldn't find a way to do that. He was like, who's going to care about this stupid actor? But if he makes it a boxer, it's the same kind of struggle, but it's in a different setting that people can relate to a little more and that visually would be more stunning. So, yeah, I like that. I like when writers do that. They take their own struggle, but it doesn't matter what setting you put in. If he was a dancer, if it was a girl and he wanted to be a boxer, like whatever setting you put it in, it's still the same kind of story.
Right.
So I really like that. And I thought it was super adorable. It's got great music. It's really fun. I love the visual. I just love the way the movie is shot. It's so, so cute and adorable and heartwarming. And I teared up a bunch. It's got some moments in there. Lots of Stacy snot coming out of the nose. I'm crying moments. They happened.
I saw this not long after it was released on DVD or VHS or something like that, and I haven't seen it since. And I know there's also a Broadway show.
There is a
I would
really
love
popular
to see.
Broadway show.
Yeah.
Yeah, they came. I think they started that in 2005, maybe. So some director met the director of the Broadway show met the director of this movie. What's his name? Stephen Daldry. What did I just say? Yeah, Stephen Daldry. Or the writer, I guess, and met him at Cannes, I think, a few years later, and immediately was like, please, let's make Billy Elliot a Broadway show because this would be incredible. And it's still going.
Yeah,
I really
I want
liked
to see it.
It's super adorable.
I didn't see, sometimes I look and see what's playing currently, what's coming to our local theater. By local theater, I mean like in Hollywood, which is not local to me. But I haven't seen that come up yet. So I'm hoping because I definitely want to see it.
It's super cute.
I can't imagine, though, doing theater with young children. Like,
It's
how
gotta
does
be
that
hard.
work? Live theater. I know they have a ton of, like, kids that play the roles because they can only have them work for so many days and stuff like that.
Right,
so.
exactly. 'Cause, those child labor laws, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
yeah.
So they get in the way all the time. Just kidding. So, yeah, that's Billy Elliot.
I like it.
It was just an adorable little movie, and I felt wonderful after watching it. I felt like little warm butter was in my heart. It was so cute.
Do you want to do your other one, too?
Sure, yeah, I'll do that really fast. Okay, so my other movie about a rebellious youth just wanting to express themselves, and the adults in their life don't support him, 1999's Superstar.
Oh, Superstar.
Yes. Sometimes I put my hands in my armpits and I smell my fingers like this.
Oh, man.
Guys,
Molly
okay.
Shannon. Who else? I mean, was Will
Molly
Ferrell
Shannon,
in this
Will
too?
Ferrell, Elaine Hendricks, Harland Williams, Mark McKinney, Gilnis Johns. That's her last movie. Tom Green. Tom Green plays one of the students.
All right.
Remember the girl that loves Satan? She worships. She's like a witch.
I don't remember.
He's
I
a
mean,
wicked-
I saw this movie.
Mm.
I don't remember much aside from like broken tables and stuff.
Oh my god.
It's been so long.
There's a dance scene she has this fantasy dance scene in there, and also the dance scene in the movie. Her parents, so basically the thing is a young girl, a young Catholic school girl who's a little awkward socially, let's say.
Yes.
Her parents are dead. They died tragically. We don't exactly know how. She says they were bitten by radioactive sharks or something like that. She thinks it's like a shark attack. But in actuality, and she's raised by her very religious or staunch grandmother who does not want her to do anything in the performing arts. Secretly, we realize, later in the film, it's revealed that her parents were like step dancers or whatever it's called, like Lord of the Dance.
Oh, yeah, like river dancers.
And they were in a competition, and the music, someone bumped the table, and the music went too fast, and they fell on the ground, and all the other dancers couldn't stop, and they stomped her parents to death. That's a good death right there. River dance.
That is very upsetting.
Death by river dance. That's hilarious. It's upsettingly hilarious. And it's an SNL sketch made into a movie. So whenever people think like, oh, what are the best SNL movies? Wayne's World, Coneheads, and my opinion, Superstar.
Superstar.
So funny. All the one-liners. There's a girl in here named Evian, and so Molly Shannon's like, go drink a bottle of yourself. It's so I throw that at people all the time. I drunkenly yelled that at someone, and they were like, what are you? But then one other person in the bar got it, and I was like, you know me. You know what I'm talking about, Superstar, right? And they were like, yeah. And then I got kicked out. But
you got kicked out?
I got kicked out. But anyway.
I don't believe you.
I may have over-exaggerated
Okay.
This actually, that did happen, but it was on Halloween, and I don't really remember all the details.
Yes.
But he called me irrelevant.
You were beyond fun body.
I called him basic, and it was just two bitchy queens falling off of their heels and drunkenly throwing shade at each other.
Okay.
Moments in Stacey's life.
Good.
So it was Mark Wahlberg is in the flashback scene. When we discover what happened to Mary's parents, he's in the stands, so he makes a little cameo. And actors Will Ferrell, Molly Shannon, and Mark McKinney all appeared together in another SNL film, A Night at the Roxbury. In that movie, Ferrell was also Shannon's romantic interest, and McKinney, who also plays a church figure in both films. So there you go. Nice little movie universe tied up in a bow.
Huh.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All
Superstar.
the SNLs.
Yeah, all the SNL people. They're always in each other's movies, and all the movies are kind of connected in some way. I like to think that it's all in the same universe.
It is. It should be.
It should be, definitely. There you go. If you haven't seen Superstar, watch it. It's really, really funny. It's so ridiculously stupid. Will Ferrell plays not only a Catholic schoolboy, but he also plays a version of Jesus, and it's pretty great.
All right, so we went from Cliffhanger to John Lithgow villain films, Footloose and Shrek. And from Footloose, you did rebellious youth films with Billy Elliot as well as Superstar.
Yes.
I'm going off of Shrek, and I'm going to be doing DreamWorks animation.
Oh, okay.
So the first one we're going to talk about is a recent film, and that is Kung Fu Panda 3, which came out January 29th, 2016. And this is continuing the story, continuing his legendary adventures of awesomeness. Po must face two hugely epic but different threats, one supernatural and the other a little closer to his home. Yes.
That sounds awesome.
It is pretty awesome. Directed by Alessandro Carloni. If I said that correctly, I could have. Maybe I did. And Jennifer Yu. And Jennifer Yu also did Kung Fu Panda 2. Writers Jonathan Abel and Glenn Berger. I apologize to anyone if I say their name incorrectly. So apologies.
I know they're listening. I'm sure
they
all listening.
are.
So
they are.
They're gonna tweet us and say, "How dare you?"
Starring Jack Black, Bryan Cranston, Dustin Hoffman, Angelina Jolie, J.K. Simmons, Jackie Chan, Seth Rogen, Lucy Liu, David Cross, Kate Hudson, and others. The budget is $145 million. So far, it has made, as of right now, which is beginning of February, it has made $40 million. I'm sure it will make that money back. The theater we went to was packed.
If even overseas, because in China it's huge, right?
Yeah.
Like the Kung Fu Panda franchise is huge.
It's got to be. I mean, why would you make a third film, right?
Because I had never seen the Kung Fu Panda movies, but I watched Kung Fu Panda the other day, 2 days ago, I think, because it was on HBO Go, and I was like, oh, Kung Fu Panda, I've heard I need to watch this from people. So I watched it, and then I read the trivia, and actually, China, I think their government met about Kung Fu Panda, the movie, and was like, guys, this movie portrays our culture better than our own animated films do. What can we learn from this? Like, they really, really love it over there, I think. I don't know. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I read on IMDb trivia, which we know is fact.
It is fact. Yes. This was supposed to come out December 23rd, but they delayed it because they didn't want to go up against Star Wars, which I get because... Yeah. Young kids are also going to see Star Wars. This is the first time that any major American animated feature film has been co-produced with a Chinese firm. So that's kind of interesting. Maybe that's the influence off of that meeting.
Probably.
This will be J.K. Simmons' first of 2 animated movies premiering in 2016. The second one is the movie Zootopia, which is coming out rather soon.
Fun, yeah.
There is one thing that I took away from this movie that, like, I feel will be something that I will carry with me as a saying that I will say to myself or to my children. And in the movie, it's the quote, and it goes like this: if you only do what you can do, you'll never be better than what you are. So I thought, that's kind of interesting. You're right. If I only do what I can do, that's it. It's just going to be what I am.
You're going to improve yourself.
And that's Shai-Fu who says that. It's very cute. My kids loved it. They actually sat through the whole thing. I mean, popcorn helps, guys.
Right.
That helps.
Popcorn, Swedish fish? Are you guys that kind of family?
You know what? My husband got Reese's Pieces and wasn't really sharing. But
I see. Okay.
But the kids would walk over to him to get a handful every now and then.
Now, so let's talk about your movie going experience as a family.
Yes.
And because I'm curious about this.
Okay.
My family growing up, my dad as the head of the household. Usually, it's my dad would bring me and my brother. My mom didn't really like to go to the movies as much, but he would get the popcorn. He'd be the designated person, and then he'd get those little hot dog cartons. You know, the carton thing.
So you could
he
fill
would be like,
up the popcorns.
can I have 2 of those at the counter? And then he would put a little bit of popcorn in there for each my brothers. That way we weren't constantly like sticking our dirty little child fingers all over his popcorn.
Right.
So he made our own little small popcorns. Do you guys do that too?
I believe we have. I have with them. Like, I've gotten them their small packs or whatever. Like their kid packs.
The little.
I've done that,
things.
but this time my husband was like, "I get them a small popcorn and put it in the middle of them," and so they get that one.
They need to work out their own system of sharing.
Yes.
And he hoards all the Reese's Pieces.
Yes. There you go.
Selfish person. Okay.
But. This is the first film I think we've seen as a family all together, because normally, like, my son is napping or something like that, so we can't all go together. My husband has taken them together to films before, at least 2 other films, and I've taken Waverly by herself. I took both of them to see the Minions, and so this was our first family movie, which was kind of nice, because then, like, if anyone needed anything, one of us could go, and we didn't all have to get up and go if someone needed something. So
nice. Family
there it
time.
is. I thought it was very cute, and I thought I really like the message that, like, if you have to work to your strengths, but your strengths can also do bigger things than you think that they can do. So I think that is kind of an interesting message as well.
Okay. Nice.
So there it is. My second film, going off of DreamWorks Animation, and we kind of alluded to this earlier, stars Sylvester Stallone, and is Ants from October 2nd, 1998. And I just watched this because I was like, I am doing this whole Sylvester Stallone, going to watch the films. And it was on Netflix. And I was like, I will watch all the films that are under Sylvester Stallone on Netflix. And then when I'm done with that, I will go on to other things. I will beg people for DVDs. I will ask my neighbors. Like, I don't know how I'm going to get all these, because I don't want to pay for all of his movies. That's going to be a lot. And then, so I figured I could ask for some favors, right? I've asked JTE. I think he thought I was joking, but I'm not. I'm not joking. Send me your movies. I will send them back.
This is a very serious endeavor for you.
It is. People need to help me.
Yeah.
I need help.
You know what's so funny? Like, whenever we're talking about, like, let's watch this movie and that movie, and you're like, I haven't seen it. I don't have it on DVD. I'm like, just pirate it. Oh my gosh, just find it. But you don't like doing that. You want like a DVD. You want like a physical thing to watch.
I think it's more of a situation of concern for, I don't want to get my husband in trouble with his job.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if it's on a certain computer, like, I could totally get him fired
Okay.
if it were pirated.
Gotcha.
So, and I don't know which computers are safe. So anyways, that's how it is. Ants. Yep. A neurotic ant tries to break from the totalitarian society while trying to win the affection of the princess he loves. Okay, here's my beef with this movie. It was okay. It was all right. You know, obviously there's comparison to Bug's Life because they came out pretty much the same time. I did not like Sharon Stone's voice. She was the princess, and I just didn't feel like her voice lends itself to voice acting.
Right, because she uses her voice the same way she would in a movie. And in a movie, it's different because you have the physicality of it. You have the image, you know, to convey everything. She doesn't use that in her voice in animation. So she was probably in the recording studio and, you know, acting the lines and everything, but, like, using her face and, you know, physical mannerisms and expressions versus putting all that into her voice. She doesn't realize how to do that because she's not a voice actor, really, so...
I know, but at the same time, I'm like, could we get someone that does do, you know, like, when something doesn't work, why do we continue is my question.
You know, like how Bonnie Hunt was the princess in A Bug's Life, but she knew how to use her voice because she's a, like, comedic actress, you know, and she's done other voice work, I believe, so.
Right.
Yeah, she knew how to do it. Sharon Stone didn't, I agree, yeah. Miscast.
Sylvester Stallone's role is small. It's a small part, and... I guess Arnold Schwarzenegger was originally supposed to be the part, but Arnold Schwarzenegger wanted to get paid. Imagine that. And Sylvester Stallone was like, I'll do this for free.
He did this for free?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Again.
What?
Why we love him.
Okay,
but
Sly is great.
I'm assuming that he did it for free because he probably owed someone a favor.
Maybe.
Like, that's probably, just like Spy Kids 3, he probably owed someone a favor, right?
Probably.
When stuff like that comes up, you're like,
Yeah.
not so sure what's going on here. And Woody Allen is fine as a voice actor, but I just all I see is Woody Allen. Anytime he does anything, I just see one character.
He's himself. He doesn't ever play. He's not a character actor because he can't really act. All he does is he's just himself in his films, and then he writes a story around his own quirk and mannerisms and everything. So that sometimes pays off and sometimes it doesn't. But for all his films, he writes it for himself. So yeah, he's great in them. But you know, because he's just his own character. He's not acting. He's just, you know, saying words that he probably thinks in his own mind. So
yeah, like Curb Your Enthusiasm. What's that guy's name?
Larry David.
Yes,
I love
same thing.
Yeah, he just puts himself in his own situations that he gets himself into and all the time, and it's an exaggerated version of it, albeit, you know, but still it's like he's just his own personality. Yeah, and then you have Woody Allen, who puts Larry David in his film to basically play the Woody Allen character, and I'm like, this is hilarious because it's the same thing. I don't know, it's not a stretch. Anyways, this was the first computer animated film to receive a PG rating. I don't really know what was so... yeah, I do know, actually. Just kidding. It was because there's some casual swearing and unusual... it's just unusual to have casual swearing in a animated film, apparently. What was the swearing? Did they say hell or damn? I have no idea. I think they said damn. Probably. It's probably something lower on the swear. I mean, swear word right now, if you say the word stupid, my daughter will be like, oh my gosh. Oh, wow. And then she'll come over and tell me, this person said stupid. And I'm like, okay, thanks for letting me know. I'm like, okay, that's all you need to say, though. You're a strict mom. Well, she's the one that started that. I think it came from school. I feel like, so you didn't say as a mom, like, now stupid is a mean word, so don't say it. Well, I'm sure I did, but I don't know if it's also reinforced at school. I'm sure. Maybe. See, like, we didn't say that. When I was growing up, I said damn all the time. I was a little cursor when I was growing up. I wanted to be older than I was, so, you know. I said some bad words. I did. The final thing on this is that the movie is loosely based on the novel Brave New World. So what do you know? What? I don't remember. Very loosely based. I don't remember this situation in Brave New World. It's probably the society of which they live in and how it's like
being controlled.
All I remember from Brave New World, and this we talked about on the concession stand, was that there's like little 10-year-olds having sex and they're in like a circle jerk together. Like they're literally in a circle doing it. And I'm like, what is happening? I haven't read that book since high school. I need to read it again. Very interesting. Is there a movie version of it?
I'm sure there is.
I think there is, but it's from like the 30s. So it might not be as scandalous as I want it to be. You know, I like me some violent, sexy, scandalous movies.
There's got to be like a, mini series out there. I'm
Probably.
sure of it. Anyways, that's it,
Netflix,
guys.
make it. Oh
that's it. Cliffhanger, Footloose, Shrek,
Superstar, Billy Elliot.
Thank you for picking that up. Ants and Kung Fu Panda 3. Yay, we did it.
What a plethora of movie types and genres and actors.
We've got some movie link tweets. Basically, I said, tell me your favorite movie with John Lithgow in it. I didn't say as the villain. I just said favorite movie with John Lithgow. Joey Bean says Santa Claus, the movie. Or Shrek. Cap. I have no idea how to say this. Capithano. Like Captain America
Cappuccino.
and Thanos. Shrek. Jeff McKenzie, Buckaroo. Chris Zimmerman says Harry and the Hendersons. And the 2 lines from Orange County, which he says, I will eat your face. And 3 people in the history of literature. Okay, so got that. Rob James Morgan, Harry and the Hendersons, or Don Quixote. And Colby Bean, Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
John Lithgow has been in some movies. Also, if you haven't seen Love is Strange, you need to watch that. Him and Alfred Molina play a gay couple who've been together for like 50 years and they have to live apart for a while, and it's really heartbreaking and touching. And watch Love is Strange. Sorry, side note, John Lithgow.
And this is easy to link it to Kevin Bacon.
Yes.
Super easy.
Kevin Bacon was in Footloose with John Lithgow, who was in Cliffhanger.
There you go, guys.
Woo! There we
go.
Okay, so
oh wait, I gotta look at my line.
I know you have a line.
Oh, did you bring one?
In my mind, I just know a scene that I want to do. So we can do both. So my first one, let me try it's the line that I just did from Superstar.
Okay, you do it.
But I'm gonna do it in a Sly Stallone voice. So sometimes I'll put my fingers in my armpits and then I just bring them up and I smell them. Stinks. It smells like shit.
That's good. That's good.
All right, there we go.
Let's keep it at that.
Let's keep it at that. You want to do the other one or no?
Nah.
All right.
That was
good
one.
enough.
I like it. I like it.
Thanks. I want to see Sly Stallone in an SNL movie doing a character. That would be incredible.
More Sylvester Stallone. That's what we need.
Has he ever hosted SNL?
Well, let's look.
Creed is big now. He's back. He needs to do it. Oh, that'd be great.
It would be great.
That would be great. They could put him in some Rambo sketches.
It was like Grandpa Rambo.
Yeah, Grandpa Rambo.
Where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at SOHoward2012, guys.
And you can find me on Twitter at Miss Movies.
Yay.
And that's it. That's all I do.
That's our episode. Oh my gosh, I had so much fun talking with you.
I had a good time.
Guys, we sat on the couch this time. I'm so comfortable. I'm literally sitting Indian style facing you, like
it's
excitedly
now called
talking
crisscross applesauce.
Crisscross applesauce is right, because Indian style is not politically correct. Sorry about that. Excuse me, Native American style.
Yes, there you go.
Native American crisscross applesauce style.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We will see you next time.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
6 Degrees of Feature Film is produced by Stacey Howard and me. Special thank you to Ken Knapsack for our intro and Matt Brown for our artwork.